So I've got a shopping list here in Excel, and what I'm going to do is turn it into a table to show you that it's nice and easy to manage your data using tables. It's going to do things like format it more nicely for me. I'm going to be able to sort, I'm going to be able to filter, and you're going to be able to see that I'm going to be able to use what I'm going to call real names to do calculations with. So let me show you how this is all done. Now, it doesn't matter that I'm doing it here on a Mac, it works the same way on Windows as well. So what I need to do is start by going into Insert, and over here there is a button called Table. Now I could do this by doing the Control T button on Windows, and I can do Command T on a Mac. All I need to do is be here within my data, no completely blank rows or completely blank columns. This one here where you've got total at the top, even though there is nothing here, is not considered blank because there is something in it. But if I had something like this, that would be completely blank, and I don't want that. So I'm just going to undo that. Okay, so as long as there's something in there. So let me go to table. It's showing me the range it's selecting. I know it's correct because it's got my crawling ants going around it. Now my table has headers, which is the item, quantity, cost per item, and the total. I do want those. Make sure that you have those, and also make sure this is ticked and that it is on. Once it is, click on OK. And you'll see it's formatted. Now it's selected. I'm just going to deselect it, just choosing one cell in there. You'll see now in the bottom corner, there is a little kind of angle there. And if I move the mouse over it, you'll see that it comes up with a box with 2 arrows. And that means we're going to be able to change the size of the data, that area there. And we'll get to that in a moment. So up in the ribbon, we are actually on the table here. I can, whilst it's selected within there, change the format. You can see there's a whole load here. I could also choose from this drop down here, there are more. And you can see down the bottom, it's got new table style, but I think we'll save that for another tutorial. You've also got clear to clear the formatting as well. So we're going to keep it. I think let's go back to that one that I had right at the beginning. I think it was this one. Let's use that. And you can see here it's got banded rows, so alternating rows with different colors or no color at all. And you can see at the top here, because I'm still on that table tab, that it's got the banded rows, and I can switch that on and off. Kind of makes it a bit easy to read like that. You could also have banded columns if you prefer, or both, although I don't think that really works. So let's just untick that. You could also highlight the first column and also the last column, although there's nothing in there. But you can see when I click on the first column, it highlights it by making it bold. I can get a total row, which would do that last column there. There's nothing in there. So if I click on it, there's nothing in there at the moment, but we're going to sort that out. So that's what you've got so far. Now, the table has a name. I'm just going to change this to shopping list. Don't use any spaces. It's best not to. Press enter. That's selected. That's done. So this table now has a name. You're going to see how useful that is in a moment. But by doing that, and also by having the headers across the top here, I could actually do a calculation here. I could do the quantity multiplied by the cost per item. Now, what you probably would have done is put in a calculation such as B4 times C4 and then copied it down. Well, it's a little bit easier than that, and it also makes a calculation that's a bit easier to read as well. So sometimes, you know, you've done a calculation, you think it's not giving the right answer. What's wrong? Have I chosen the wrong cell or something? Well, if you can read it, then it will help. So let's just do that. I'm going to type in equals. I'm going to click over here. Oh, hang on a second. What's it doing here? It's choosing the name of the header. So it's put it in square brackets and it's put an at the front. Very clever. Let's multiply it. Let's put that one in. Oh, okay, so that's also doing it. But look at this, it's a little bit different. Because there are spaces in the cost per item, it's got extra square brackets around the words cost per item, whereas there's nothing around quantity. Okay, so just something that if you wanted to do that, because you could just type this in. So I'm going to press enter so you can see what happens. Isn't that great? It's just automatically filled it down. If I click on any of these, they've got the same calculation in there. I'm just going to undo this so I can show you what it'd be like if you actually typed it in. So let's just undo that. So I could do it like this, equals, square bracket, at, and you can see a list is coming up as I do it for quantity, square bracket, multiply. So let's just do this one. Let's just do the square bracket. We're going to do at. I'm going to do cost per item. And then I need another square bracket around it. Remember, quantity, I didn't need that. Square bracket, and close. And there you go. That's done that. Here's something also that you might find useful here is at the top, it's got these filter buttons. And you can see there's a filter button here in the table tab. You can switch that on or off. I can use it to sort here. So I can go here. I can click on this one for the item. I can choose ascending or descending order. Let's choose ascending, and it puts it in alphabetical order in the order A to Z. Descending does it the other way around. I think I prefer it with the ascending. Now, the other thing I can do is I could just filter here as well. So let's just switch off that select all. I could just have the apples, apple juice, apples, choose the oranges. So there's a little bit of a theme there with fruit. We'll also choose the tomatoes as well. So you can see it's automatically updating there because the auto apply is switched on. I could clear the filter and that just takes it back to where it was before. Okay, so what if I want to add more to this? Well, this is really easy. What I can do is go to my bottom right-hand corner here. When it's a double-headed arrow like that, I can add in more rows and it's extending the table. You can see it's got these dashes here because there's no calculation there. So let's just quickly put something in here, just making it up. Let's just put 4 in there and it automatically does that. And another little treat perhaps, which I shouldn't have. Let's put that in. Now, I'm here on the last row of the last column. And I can add something else in there, another row, because I can just tab here and I could put something in there. So let's get something that's healthy. Let's get 7 of those and put those down for 50p. So I could just keep pressing tab to do that. What's really good is I could do a total row here and it puts in that last column. It's put the total in there and I can switch that on and off. The good thing is if I press tab to add something else in here, or if I would have dragged using this, it will add that in, but still keep that total down at the bottom. Now I don't want those, so let's just move that back up. Let's put those in, let's just delete those. So there you go, so that's what you can do there. Now using those names makes it really useful and really easy to use. So as you know, I've got the table selected here. Let's go back to my table tab, just to remind you that the table name here is shopping list, because what I could do is get, say, a total of all of those quantities there and perhaps get an average cost of all the things that I've bought. So let's get a total items, that's the total quantities. Now I would normally have had to do something like equal sum and then go and select that from over here. But here's something a bit different. If I put in my bracket there, and now if I start typing shopping list, there's a shopping list. And if I do the square bracket, I could choose quantity, press the square bracket. Now, if I wanted just that row, I would have done the at symbol in front of that quantity, but I want that whole column, so no at in front of it. You'll see that now comes up with 36. Just so you can see, if I put that at in front, it would just refer to the row that I'm on. So let's just press that, which is 1. So just have a look at that again. That's got the at. The at refers to that actual row. If I undo that, it's doing the whole column. Okay, so let's get the average cost of each item purchased. Okay, so this is not that column with the cost per item, but the total. So you're seeing what you're actually spending there. Let's make this column bigger. I'm just double clicking between the G and the H at the top. So let's do equals average bracket shopping list again. It's handy, isn't it? Because you don't have to remember all these things. And then I can now choose total. I could type in total if I want. And then, so close the square bracket, close the normal bracket. And there you go. That's the average cost of each of your items here. So this is why I like using tables, is it just makes all those things sort of a bit easier. If things move around, I don't have to worry about things like putting in dollar signs and things like that sometimes for my referencing. I can also manage it in terms of the order by sorting, and also I can filter very easily. And what I like is it does a very quick formatting, which I find nice and easy as well. It just makes it a lot easier to read. Thanks for watching. If you do like this, please do like, share and subscribe, and come back for more.